So, I have to start this video off with a warning. Because you guys have to watch me play Sonic Colors, not because of what you might think it is. No, actually, this game I thoroughly enjoyed, but I'm really bad at Sonic, so yeah, unfortunately, you get to watch me crash into stuff and bumble around in areas that you guys had no problem with. But anyway, I feel like with this game, a lot of us got duped. On Twitter, it was nonstop, massive game breaking glitches. We saw, people having seizures because of these glitches. And I really expected something else when I put this game in my Nintendo Switch and fired it up. I thought, okay, I need to actually check this game. I actually purchased it for my son, and it's not like he's epileptic or anything, but I just wanted to make sure, like, is this even playable? Like, I would hate to give him this game and it not work at all, especially because it was his birthday. It's a big deal, you know? So I fired it up, and I didn't have a single problem. I really didn't. There was talk about, like, different lasers that weren't showing up in certain levels, and there was enemies that you couldn't see but you'd get hit. I never had a single problem at all. Now, were the graphics like up to where I want them to be? No, they could have been better. I mean, there could have been some, better things, but my point with the game, I think, kind of came down to is just like if something is overhyped, like Cyberpunk, and then it comes out like garbage, it gets really, really dropped. Like, people who would have probably given Cyberpunk like a 4 if you played it on the PS5 or Xbox Series S, now are just giving it a 1 because they're like, no, this game is complete garbage, it's broken. But you can play it on the PS5. I hope, or at least that was my effect with Sonic on the opposite. I was like, this game's broke, it's not even going to work. And I ended up like really liking it. I think I actually give it like an 8 out of 10. But it probably doesn't deserve it. It probably deserves like a 7, maybe a 6.5, because it's fun. It's fine. It's fun. I enjoyed it. It's like one of my favorite Sonic games now. I've actually beaten it. I beat it before I even given it to him. But it's just one of those situations. I felt like I wanted to talk about the fact that the glitches in the game can happen, but you have to make them happen. And by meaning that is there's a certain process that you have to do to purposely get the glitches. And then once you do get the glitches, all you have to do is like restart the level and they go away. This really isn't a big deal. And if you play the game like you normally would, just level by level and, bounce around a little bit. Oh, I'm going to go do the Metal Sonic races and just play the game like you normally would, I don't think you're going to have a single problem. Or at least nothing game breaking, nothing that makes you feel like this game isn't worthy of your time. Now, the game itself, I gotta say, I love the sound. I loved the aspect of going back and forth and trying to shave off a few seconds and go back through the courses and just try to get faster and faster. I think the entire game, like I mentioned, is about 4 or 5 hours. And that's not really the game, is it? The game is trying to get the best time you can on all of the different levels in the game. And it's a lot of fun. And one way to do that is when you get these creatures called wisps. I guess they're like aliens, but they give you different abilities. And those abilities help you get through the levels quicker and faster, give you more options and all of that. And so that's a big part of the game, is just unlocking a wisp, getting a new ability, then going back and maybe going down paths that you couldn't before, or finding a faster route, and just getting your time faster and faster and better, and then competing with people. And I do think that there is a lot to this game that maybe needs a little bit of refreshing, needs a little bit of work, but it's not bad. And I think that that's the thing that I want to come across with the most, is the fact that they kind of talk about this game being completely broken. That if you put this thing in your Switch will catch fire and blow up. And that's just not the case. It's not. It's a very playable, easy game. It's a game that I think was dragged through the mud because a lot of people wanted clickbait. I think a lot of people lied about how bad this game was. I'm not saying names. I'm not going to point out YouTubers and people on Twitch and Twitter and all that stuff. I'm not going to. But I will say that I feel like people who've played the game know exactly what I'm talking about. And they've actually experienced that. Yeah, there's slight bugs, but it is not what is being talked about. It's not the extent of that this entire game is broken. In fact, as I said before, I've been through the game. It's a lot of fun. I keep mentioning how much fun it is because it is. It was a really good 4 or 5 hours. I'm still kind of going back and forth and playing it. I got time until my son's birthday, so I can I can go back and get my fill of Sonic. And I really think that everyone who is a Sonic fan or people who are thinking about the game should go ahead and pick it up because it's not what everyone's saying it is. It's not that issue of, you know, again, those massive glitches, I never saw them unless I purposely made them happen, and it is a process to make it happen. You don't, and again, if you accidentally get one, restart the level, and you're fine. And in that game, by the way, restarting a level is no big deal. You're not like losing a whole bunch of stuff. You constantly restart levels. You constantly are trying to find better ways. Now, granted, I think that what the issue is here is this was a game that needed more memory. And I think that there are certain patches and fixes that are coming through. I actually think that there might be another game mode. I don't know 100%, but I've heard different things. I know that they're working on the game to make it even better than it is now, which makes me say this is a good game, and it's going to be a good game. I also would say that for people who are saying, oh, it's not that great. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when they bring a Wii game from over a decade ago to a new game system. It's a Wii game. If you enjoyed that game, you're going to enjoy this one, but it's not, on either way. It's not amazingly great. It's not groundbreaking in that form, but it's not complete garbage and trash. It's broken. It's neither of those. It's a solidly good game. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the game. If you played it, let me know if you're having any issues. I'm curious on both sides. I would like more people who've played it to actually talk about it and to say this is my experience with it. Anyway, I appreciate you guys' time. Please like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I really, really appreciate you. Take care.